The year 2002 we are looking at this morning, and the Brisbane Lions went back-to-back. They are just a powerhouse side they were. And they beat the Collingwood Football Club by 9 points in what was a brilliant grand final and a brutal grand final. This was an iconic moment. Michael Voss, Scotty Perns clashed here, and watch the way Vossy, you talk about intimidation. We're at the intimidation there of Michael Voss with Burns. Rocker, he thinks he kicked the goal. Still to this day, he believes he kicked the goal. Controversial. The scoreline was there. They would have gone in front there. Rocker saying, I kicked this goal. Look at that. They would have gone 3 points in front. And then you see lethal Lee Matthews celebrating. And what a, to go back-to-back is difficult. And the emotion there of Mickey Malthouse, Paul Licuria, devastation. Nathan Buckley had 32 touches, won the Norm Smith. He took the medal straight off after that. And there it is, the Lions celebrating yet again, winning a premiership. Talk about Lee Matthews. He's iconic. He's legendary. He kept it pretty simple, though, but this is a moment we'll never forget. The lips of lethal. Ackermanis had a bad groin, and listen to the instruction and then what he went out and did afterwards.
You there? Go and tell Acker, run to the front of Lynchy. Run to the front, not to the back.
Back to Brad Scott, around the corner, to the full forward area. Lynch can't manufacture a mark. Ackermanis, left foot snap. Ackermanis has kicked a goal.
Absolutely brilliant from Lee Matthews too.
It's unbelievable. It's interesting because I reckon I sat through those a couple of times from the lips of lethal, and that was probably one of the very few times he became animated in a vocal sense. The rest of it just so measured. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, and you're right, he didn't ever lose control.
No.
And that goal itself, I know the commentary around it and the lead up to it from Lethal was unbelievable, but the goal itself is incredible, wasn't it? The skill set.
Just an unbelievable football mind, Lee Matthews.
So TJ, they dominated in every way, and they also won mark and goal of the year. And this mark from Jonathan Brown, it's crazy courage, but one of the greatest marks you'll ever see in your life. Look at this.
Yeah.
That is just crazy courage.
Great,
and it's one of the reasons why he obviously retired early because of the concussions, but it's also why he was one of the greats of our football game with the way he had that courage. And this one, Jason Ackermanis, don't know if he was a left footer or a right footer, you couldn't tell because this guy is that good, but just when he was at his best, he was just so good to watch, wasn't he, Dana? Yeah.
He was a right footer, but he may have been better on his left.
The team.
So not only mark of the year, not only goal of the year, not only another premiership, but also the Brownlow. And of course Simon Black, who, I don't know, is it unfair to say one of the more understated sort of footballers, champions that we've produced in the AFL? But I tell you what, 25 votes, winning from who, Kane? From memory?
Josh Franco.
Yep, spot on. I think there was a couple of votes in it, might have been a little bit more. But look, averaging 23 touches for the year. And of course, as I said, just an out-and-out champion. And that team and that era, probably the best ever in football history.
And then he added a Norm Smith medal the next year to what he'd already won.
And then he went on Survivor, didn't he?
He's won every medal or any trophy that there is to win, Simon Black. And you said he averaged 23. Imagine if he played today. Like, he was tagged by some idiot like me nearly every week of his 300-game career. Like, someone was running with...
What'd you keep him to? What's your best?
13 in the grand final wasn't bad, Llordo. But I was about him, not about me. But just the midfielders now don't know how lucky they are with the freedom that they get. Nor
do the defenders, given what you're about to talk about, Kane, with Tony Lockett making that comeback in that particular year and it not working out for him.
It didn't work. Well, what are your memories of it? Because
well, he missed a year and then came back, and then in his very first game back, got this massive corky, and he was forced to come back through the VFL, which was an event in itself, wasn't it, TJ, down there at Port Melbourne Oval, and then he came back, added 2 goals, I think it was, to his overall tally. He finished with the 1360. And this was a scene in itself, being forced to come back through the VFL. Look, I think he felt he's above that, and that may have been, I think, fair enough too. But it just didn't work out. It could have had he not got injured in that first game back.
Who refused to give the number up? Can you remember that?
Benny Matthews?
Ben Matthews, that's right, yeah.
You're a good fella, Benny Matthews. OK, let's get into it because there was some great...
Georgie Bissett, but you cut me off.
Some great goals after the siren. Peter Riccardi was a brilliant player and one of the best kicks in the competition. So Carlton this day, Geelong had led all game, and then with 20 seconds to go, they got in front, and then this from Peter Riccardi, 55, had bent back. It was almost like the Dawson one this year. It looked like it was missing, and then bent back for Peter Riccardi. That wasn't the only one. Then you got the Wiz against his former side. Big Nita gets in his back here, and the Wiz goes back against Melbourne to kick the winner after the siren again. It wasn't the greatest kick in the world, but it bent back, and he was as watchable as any man who's ever played our game.
He was, Brownie, and we just talked about one of the all-time greats in Tony Lockett, another all-time great in Wayne Carey, even before the season started, had to call a press conference to announce to the footy world what had happened.
For the well-being of all concerned, I have taken the decision to cease my playing career with the Kangaroos. I regret the circumstances of my actions, which has led to the decision, and the pain it has caused to my wife and my family. I apologise to all my teammates and all the Kangaroo supporters. However, I believe this is the only proper and responsible course of action.
So that was Wayne Carey, TJ, standing down as North captain and icon, finished his career at the Adelaide Crows.
Because the media conference that followed that one at Arden Street a day or two later was quite phenomenal, where Anthony Stevens was installed as captain and every North Melbourne player just lined up behind Dennis Pagan, Anthony Stevens and Glenn Archer as well, and that was electrifying. It was just, the club was still in a state of shock. Where would you rank that in your time in journalism in terms of stories?
It's up there. I mean, in a certain ranking, it could be number one, couldn't it? I mean, the Essendon drugs issue, I think the West Coast Eagles drugs issues as well, I think the equally impactful.
Hawthorn-Melbourne merger was massive.
Yep.
Yeah, the attempted merger. So, but yeah, that certainly gave. Did you tell Duck you were going to do that?
No, but it's on the running sheet to do it at point 103.
So Luke Jackson does amazing things. He behind the scenes for us here at the Sunday Footy Show, and he come up and he said the grand final rematch in 2002. I want to show you some of this vision. So this is what we're going to finish with on the deep dive. So grand final rematch, they've targeted James Hird. Obviously he had his facial fracture, so it was on for young and old. And watch Jonathan Brown. We touched on Jonathan Brown in this game and what a competitor he was. But Mark McVeigh, who's going to coach, that's Lynchy on Blumfield, but Mark McVeigh is going to coach his first game today for the GWS Giants as head coach. Here's one. Peverill gets hit hard by Vossi in a hard, but I think fair bump. And then watch Jonathan Brown get involved here. So that's Mark McVeigh. He cops one. So it'll be a couple of weeks for Jonathan Brown in this day and age. And here, Mark Johnson, you can cop one as well. So it's fair to say they were a ruthless side and went on and won the flag, TJ. Wow. Yeah. All righty. Now, it says here, Damo, throw to a break. What item number is that?
That's 106, TJ. Yeah.
OK, good. OK. All right.
Can you give Damo or Kane a chance at...
Oh, yeah, OK. Damo, can you throw the break, please?
Yes. After the break, we have the Geelong-Port Adelaide game coming up to discuss.
Class I stuff, Damo. Give us a bit more. Give it something, Damo.
Geelong-Port Adelaide next.